Well, good morning everybody. Welcome to another video. I am glad you're here. I just bid on a trip. It's a Hawaii trip, and the great thing about this, it starts and ends in Phoenix. So let's go to Honolulu.
Get it that I'm never going back. Get it that I'm never going back. Going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up. Get it that I'm never going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up.
All right, here in Phoenix, like I said, this trip is really unusual because we typically don't have trips that originate in Phoenix for a Phoenix crew. It's typically a trip that originates in Los Angeles or Las Vegas because those are the ETOPS bases. Also Oakland. But because I live in Phoenix and I'm ETOPS qualified, I was able to pick it up at an open time on the computer. So now we're here and we're gonna do this trip. So let me show you what we're doing. We are heading out of Phoenix. It is a little bit of weather out to the west. But as you can see out of here, it's actually a nice day in Phoenix. Just a little bit hot, but a little bit turbulent. We can expect going over Los Angeles, and then we'll coast out. And we're taking the Delta track. So Delta track all the way down to Honolulu, where right now we'll show you the weather, make you really jealous, especially being out of Phoenix. It is 81 degrees right now. It's light winds, it's clear skies. So going to be a little bit longer of a trip because obviously we're starting in Phoenix. Just to even get to the coast is about an hour, hour and a half. So overall it's going to be 6 hours and 17 minutes today to get all the way to Honolulu. The big things that we're doing, I was looking at this morning, I was looking at the route. The big thing is going to be our weight because we're going to be carrying a lot of gas, and then we have a lot of freight that we also take over to the islands along with the people. So those are some of the things that I'm looking at. Our critical fuel scenario, because of all the excess weight that we have, we just got to balance it all, and that's what our ops agents do. They help us do that along with the dispatchers in Dallas. They make sure that all that stuff is sweet, so I can just come up here, review the paperwork, you know, concur with them, and then off we go. But first thing we're gonna do is go do the walk around, so let's go. Kinda cool, I don't really get to see that, the loading baggage area every so often, just when they're waiting on the bags to come in, so unusual. ETOPS flights, we typically show up about an hour and a half prior to departure. So we've got a lot of time. The airplane's not quite loaded yet, and they're figuring out the loading schedule for that. So this is why we get to take a look and see where your bags get to go. And the 737, so kind of cool. Taking a lot of fuel today. Actually, our fuel load today should be right around the 46,000 pound mark, which is a ton heading out there. So, but it's a long way, 6 hours and 17 minutes. We're gonna need a lot of fuel, plus some fuel for an alternate. So I can tell you right now in Phoenix, it is blazing hot. I can't wait to get to Hawaii because even though we're getting there a little bit late, we're gonna get in around 3:30, 4 o'clock. By the time we get to the hotel, probably 4:30, 5 o'clock, I'm still gonna enjoy myself. With this trip being a Phoenix trip, I feel pretty lucky to be able to grab it. Again, in Phoenix, I am way junior. Phoenix is a very senior base for captains. And I'm actually going to do a 1-year review of what I think it's been like as a captain, which has been, no shocker, been pretty awesome. And the crews have been absolutely great, especially very patient with a junior captain, especially with the flight attendants. They're training me right. cockpit, and let's plan our way over to Honolulu. Well, like you guys know, being able to get this airplane across the ocean takes a lot of checklists, takes a lot of checks on the airplane. Obviously, our logbooks, this airplane must be ETOPS certified, so there's a lot of requirements for that. So for us up front, there's a lot of requirements for us to look over, such as, hey, if we have a problem before this point, what are we going to do? Where are we going to go, and what are we going to do? Well, prior to that point, we're going to turn around and go to San Francisco, because that's one of the closest spots there. If we pass that point, we're going to go head down to Hilo, which is one of the closest spots there. Little known fact, or maybe it is big known fact, this is the longest portion of ocean to cross without any suitable landing spots. So you can only imagine what it was like back in the day when you're flying those flying boats to get across the ocean. And it's a long time. So that is a long way, but again, we have our checklist down here that we use to get us through our ETOPS procedures. So a lot of contingency stuff on this page. This page is our pre-flight, our checklist, and a lot of procedures. So a ton of information. Again, as a pilot, you don't need to memorize all this stuff. They give you a lot of resources to do your job and do it very well. You just need to be familiar, and you know, these are a lot of good memory joggers in case you kind of forget some of the procedures, because they are a lot. One of the other things that we do is we have 3 releases. One has to be labeled the master. So that release, we actually do all our planning. It's almost like a journal of us going across the ocean. So we're going to list the part where we coast out, the time where we get back into radar contact over there with HCF Center, and anything that happens in between. We'll do fuel scorecard, as far as the winds, the fuel, the temperature outside, and we're just monitoring that as we go across to see if it's of any detriment to our fuel planning, because obviously with that route being one of the shortest or longest routes without a suitable place to land, we want to make sure we're all set with the fuel and all that stuff. So we're going to do that up here, finish up our checks, and then we'll be off to Honolulu. 6 hours, 17 minutes, and well, that ding means we've actually got the clearance. Show you that real quick. Keens 2 harbor, then as filed, we'll climb to the SID. 34,000 feet in 3 minutes, and our squawk is 2665. That's going in there. And 8,000 feet is our top altitude as we roll out here. Just real quick, we'll show you the Keens. It's much like going out, and we are going to be taking off of runway 7 left as of right now, and that could change. But departure out of here, just basically heading to the east, we'll make the turn and head on out to see, harbor is where we're going to end. So we'll end here in harbor. That's very similar to any airport going over to the West Coast. So all that stuff looks the same. And from there, we'll pick that up and head over, right over Los Angeles to head out over the ocean and into the oceanic phase. So that is it. We'll see you in Honolulu here in about 6 hours and 17 minutes. All right, we're here. The ever popular Echo 1 gate. It did take all of the 6 hours and 16 minutes to get here. Really long flight. It was probably because we had an average of about a 50-knot headwind, which is going to be great because tomorrow we're going to head back and we'll have a 50-knot tailwind, so we should get back in relatively good time. So here's kind of what we did. Took off, a little bit of weather over kind of our route, just south of Las Vegas, some thunderstorms. But we topped that, a little bumpy, but once we got out and coasted out, right over Dinty, it smoothed out, and for the entire length, just the occasional burble here and there, but a beautiful ride all the way in. We did get direct Bambo after checking in over Drake, and after that, we picked up the RNAV. Actually got vectored onto the RNAV and landed runway 8 left. After 8 left, exited Hotel Alpha Sierra, and then we went up to Echo 1. So that was the flight in. We're going to the Hilton Hawaiian Village like we usually do, so I'll see you there. You guys have seen this before. Here is the room. It's always very nice. It's really cold in here. Not cold, but it's very nice temperature in here. So let's check out what is going on outside. Oh, nice. So there we are. All right, number one rule. This is kind of an AM. We used to say that do not lay on your bed, even though you feel like it because you've been up for a long time. This AM wasn't that bad. It was only, what, 10 o'clock, 10:30 local time show, so it's not bad at all. So what you do, don't lay down, change, we're gonna head to the gym. So let's go. Pretty good workout. Just hopped on the Peloton for 30 minutes. Actually, it's like my 4th time being on the Peloton. That is a good workout, I have to admit. Yeah, Sean, you're right. Anyways, I'm gonna go probably head down and try to grab something really quick. Maybe we'll go take a look at, we have to go to the beach, right? So let's go to the beach, go check it out. It is starting to get that twilight or evening sunset type of deal. So, hey, why not? Let's just go down there. We gotta be in the airport tomorrow. About 7 o'clock is our van time, so why not? Let's go do it. It's about 13 hours. So. Just for you, I walked down to the beach to get you a nice sunset. Now I'm gonna go grab some food and then head up to my room overnight because I gotta wake up early. There's another open time Honolulu trip that I'm gonna bid at, but it's gonna require me waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Actually 3:50 to bid on that trip. So that's what I'm gonna do. Look at that. Little garlic shrimp, a couple scoops of rice, and a little agua frescas breakfast, or not breakfast, dinner. Dinner of champions. So, all right, guys, that is going to be it for this evening. I will see you bright and early in the morning. We are going to do a little bidding tomorrow because there's another Honolulu trip out of Phoenix that's going in open time, and I'm going to try to get that because why not? All right, see you in the morning. Right now I'm in Honolulu getting ready to fly one more leg back to Phoenix, but these shoes are probably the most comfortable dress shoes I have worn in my uniform, and they also have really cool dress shoes outside of your uniform. So if you're looking to pick up a new pair of shoes for work or for play, check out my friends at AmberJack. Use the code word EARN10. It'll get you 10% off, or click on the link below. Back to the rest of the video. All right, guys, nothing like a beautiful Hawaiian morning. We are about to lobby downstairs for our trip. I didn't get the next Hawaii trip. It's people are starting to figure it out. And you know, me being junior, I'm not gonna get any really good stuff when the senior guys figure it out. And there happens to be a lot more Phoenix-based pilots that are ETOPS qualified. So I didn't get it being the junior guy I am. However, today, I was just, since I didn't get my trip, I was just reviewing the leg back to Phoenix on the JEP FD Pro. So, gonna go ahead and clean this stuff up, head out to the airport, and head back to Phoenix. Again, it's just a really quick 2-day trip. Super excited about that. Wish I could have grabbed the other one, but hey, life of a junior captain. So, let's head to the airport. Back. Echo 5 route is going to take us 5 hours and 15 minutes today. Here's what the route looks like. Nice and smooth all the way across. So we've got that set up. Probably right when we coast in is the biggest issues. So see where that low level, not a big deal, but a little bit of thunderstorm action. So you can expect a little bit of bumpiness over there. Right now, the weather in Phoenix, 102 degrees, winds out of the west 10 miles, so we'll be landing to the west. As of right now, and that's not supposed to change, but partly cloudy skies, so looks pretty good. We're gonna get the airplane ready. And again, on our way back to Phoenix, just one and done, so pretty good, but it is a 5-hour leg, so we got that going for us. But anyways, I'm gonna get my portion of the pre-flight done. We're gonna run through our ETOPS checklist, make sure everything's good to go, and then we're gonna head on out. One thing I did want to show you a tool that we have, and it's FlightRadar 24. Kind of use this at home too. But as we're flying across the Pacific on our way back to the mainland, you can see all the airplanes that are coming in. This is very useful for us because as we're monitoring 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 once we coast out, it's kind of like a CB radio. We get to talk to all the other airplanes that are out there. And for instance, if we were kind of in this stream, we could find out what this Alaska 850, how their ride is. We can also see their altitude as well. So when we're trucking along, we could say, oh, this guy's at 31,000 feet. If we were at 31,000 feet in this stream, we could probably call him and just ask what the rides are like. If there's any better rides, if guys are higher or lower on that route. It's just another tool for us to use as we're going across the Atlantic, because really there's no one out there but us to give reports. Air traffic control is not out there to kind of gather the reports. Just like in the domestic side, when we're in the mainland, we can just call ATC and ask how the rides are. Well, here we ask how the rides are on our common traffic frequency, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over the ocean. So that's it, just another tool. It's not like really sponsored by the company or anything, but we have access to this. It's a really great tool. Also, just really quick, say you are in Denver, this has happened to us before, and you want to find out what the lineup is for the runways for de-icing, say we're in the wintertime. We can actually blow this up and then see the airplanes that are out in the de-icing pad. Kind of gives us a little bit more information on whether or not we want to turn both engines and taxi out with both, or taxi out with one. Got to see what the timing's like. So anyways, really useful app. Not sponsored by them, but just so you guys know, I'm always trying to equip you guys with better tools out there. I think it's a good app for them. So anyways, we're almost done. We're going to grab our altitude. One thing that we have to do prior to pushing back is to get our assigned altitude for the crossing back to the mainland. We have our range of altitudes. For us, we're basically hoping that we're going to get 36 or 35,000 feet on the way back. But if not, we're protected all the way down to 31. So we'll find out what that is here in a second. We'll let you guys know. All right, we got flight level 350, which is exactly the altitude that we're requesting. So all our fuel burns are calculated on the altitude that we're going to be crossing. We're protected all the way down to 31. So we got 35, but if the rides are bumpy, we know we can go down to 31 if we need to, all the way, or an intermediate altitude in between. So very important on that. We got our, again, our altitude that we need. That's going to be the route. And 5 hours, 15 minutes. So we'll see you in Phoenix here in about 5 hours. Here back in Phoenix, took us 5 hours and 23 minutes. And here's the route. Basically picked up the Echo Track all the way across. It was actually super nice ride until we got into the coast. So right around Santa Catalina, we're above most of the stuff, and then into Phoenix. There's a little bit of weather out there. Got a little bit bumpy for us, but not too bad. We did the Hydra on the way in, then picked up the visual, backed up by the ILS to 25 left. Taxi then off 25 left, cross the runway 25 right, ended up here at Charlie 9, so that's it. We're gonna get the people off, and then we're actually gonna be shutting down the airplane, so I'll show you guys what that's all about here in a second. We're gonna shut down the airplane by use of the terminating checklist here. Let you guys follow along with me. First thing is stab trim. We gotta make sure it's in the green band. It is. IRS's, those are off. Emergency exit lights, go ahead and turn those off now. External lights, so all these guys are coming off. Off, off, off. Ground power will go off. The APU is off and the battery is off. So it's gonna get dark. Ground power is coming off. And battery switch off. We have one blue light. And that's what we call the end of a successful trip. Nice 2-day. Thanks everybody for joining along. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and look forward for another video next week. Have a good one.
Get it that I'm never going back. Going up, going up, going up, going up, going going up, going up. Get it that I'm never going up, going up, going up, going up, going up.